Masters of Change Show, Season 1, Episode 4.
Masters of Change Show, bringing you real entrepreneurs, real experiences, and real advice, with big inspiration and a whole lot of soul. Whether you're looking to start or grow your business, hack life, or learn personal growth strategies, we are confident you'll hear game-changing ideas and perspectives here. Ready to learn? Always with a big smile, with your host, Bara Ali. Listen to the show 24/7 at www.mastersofchangeshow.com.
You're listening to part 2 of my interview with Glenda Standeven. Because you wrote about a topic that you talked about that people usually don't talk about, what would be your advice of do's and don't for people who write about topic that not necessarily think, it's going to be popular as they imagine? Because if we know the market, it would be easier to say, oh, I know how to write about this and not about this. But writing about a message and communicating a real story, what are the do's and don'ts?
Oh, that's excellent question. Well, I will tell you right now, with my personal story and with the what men won't talk about and women need to know story, both of them are very personal.
Okay. And
they're true stories. If you're writing fiction, put whatever the heck you want in there, because it's fiction and you can make it up and nobody's going to hold you and go, did that really happen? I flew in a spaceship to Mars. No, it didn't really happen, but for me, these are things that really did happen. Mm-hmm. So my first draft of I Am Choosing to Smile was much thicker. And my husband read it, and he goes, honey, you can't put that in there. We'll traumatize the kids. And even as it was, I remember my oldest boy read it, and he goes, oh, Mom, you're the reason I'm going to need therapy. Well, that's good. That's okay. Sorry, sweetie. But when I wrote the other one, the prostate book, and I started off probably 300 pages, a tell-all, and step by step. And my husband read it, and he goes, no. He says, if we put this out, we're moving and we're changing our names. We're not. You can't, honey. You can't. And I went, maybe he's right. So I edited it down, and he says, okay, well, now we just have to move. All right. And I did by the third edit. It was down to around 100 pages, I think. And he said, give this to 2 of your friends to read. And if they can read it, and if they can look me in the eye and not in the crotch,
right? He
said, then I'll know that it's okay. He says, it's got my approval, but I want unbiased opinion. So my friends read it, and they looked at him in the eye, and they said, Ricky, we love you. And thank you for writing and sharing your story, because it will help so many people.
Of course.
And it will save lives. So
absolutely.
We shared enough of the intimate and the personal parts and the embarrassing parts, mm-hmm. and the parts that you're going, holy smokes, who would have ever thought this would happen? And we shared those moments in the book, because we knew that those things were going to happen to other people. We were not unique. Our relationship was not unique, and it was not just the experience that we would have. Mm-hmm. It would be experiences that would apply to many, many, many other men and many, many other couples.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that you definitely have to be aware as an author when you're writing your story, how much you want to share.
Okay.
So that's a really good question, Bara. For sure, be aware of what you're sharing, because people will come up to me in the grocery store and they'll think they know me,
right? Because
they've read the book, and they'll, they do know me because I have shared a lot of things and intimacies and that, but they're strangers to me.
Right.
So be prepared for that too, that if you're writing a tell-all, people will know you. People mm-hmm. will recognize you and either love it or they might not.
Correct. Anything else that you see challenging? I mean, and you also recommend that don't do this as an author.
Well, no, I think for me, the most important part was to realize that you're sharing your life with others. Absolutely. And you are inviting them into your life. And once you do that, be prepared to be almost like a mentor to so many, and to be an ear for so many, because you're there, that you put yourself out there in that position to help, and be prepared that it doesn't stop. You are helping, and you are advising, and you're listening. More than anything, you're listening to other people and their issues and their concerns and their stories. And if you're a person that takes all those troubles on yourself, you're in trouble. You have to be able to understand that. And this was a really hard lesson for me, but I learned it through, thankfully, the Canadian Cancer Society taught a facilitator training workshop, and they taught you how to listen and be in the moment, and to recognize that every single one of us have burdens to carry, have lessons to learn, have sad stories to share. And that's their journey. You don't have to carry it for them. You can be there in the moment with them on that part of their journey, but you don't carry the load. So that was, I think, a lifesaver for me, is that I can be totally empathetic and have that empathy and connection with people, and to recognize that that's their journey. And I'm happy to be a little part of it, but I don't carry the load.
Okay, good to know. Thank you so much for sharing this. Now, any roadblocks as an author, in general, as an author, what are the roadblocks that you run into?
The roadblocks that you run into. Well, you have to be organized. You have to know where your books are. You have to know who has your books. You have to be able to track those sort of things. And if you're not good at it, you have to have someone on your team who keeps track of, okay, I have 25 books here, I have 30 there, and invoicing and all that sort of thing. That's a very challenging part. You think that you have your book, now you've got it written, now you've got boxes and boxes of books in the storage, and you've got a distributor. Finding a distributor nowadays too, if you want to get it in Kohl's, Indigo, Chapters, that's a whole new thing. Right. More and more of us are going now not through Kohl's, Indigo, and Chapters but to Amazon, where they do print on demand, and you don't have to have boxes and warehouses full of books that you ship out yourself. So that was one of the things we learned the hard way, I think, through our first book, was that a distributor takes a huge chunk of the money, and you still have to pay for your printing and everything yourself, and you still have to do your promotions yourself, and it's you're not you don't make a ton of money unless you're someone like Stephen King, when you write books like Harry Potter, and you get all those. Yeah, but these are a little harder. It's harder to market, and you have to know what you want to do. There's a book called Marketing Books for Dummies, or Book Marketing for Dummies, and my husband read it, and he said, "Oh, honey, this is a good book." And I'm going, "Good, because you can do that." Yeah,
that's good. So has he been doing this? Helping you? He has been helping you. Excellent.
Yeah, he helps a lot. He's definitely been very supportive through all of this, and he does the filing, and he does the things that I hate to do. And that's one of the things that in a partnership, you have to find someone who fills in the gaps for you. Absolutely. And you work as a team, and that's fantastic. Very much so. He actually comes with me when I do a lot of my speaking engagements, and especially when I do the prostate cancer speaking engagements. he's so much fun because I can make fun of him and he turns red really easy.
Does he actually talk? Has he been asked to talk, to speak?
He speaks after the event.
Okay.
He's always there to talk to the men one-on-one. They'll come up and he talks to them and shares his story with them one-on-one. He would sooner die, I think, than get up in front of an audience and a microphone and actually speak. Mm-hmm. But he has no problem talking to them after the event when we stick around and we sign books, and he shares whatever they have to ask. He's more than happy to answer their questions. So it's an intimate setting, and he likes that.
Absolutely. How do you find it? Like how do people react to this? I mean, were you surprised how people actually react positively to it and come to learn about this topic and how it's affected their life? Did you see more and more people are getting aware of the story and learning from it?
Yes.
Okay.
I was absolutely surprised. I was so nervous the first time I went to speak to a prostate cancer support group and share my story from a woman's perspective. And when you get like a standing ovation from these people, and they come up to you afterwards and they say, wow, if I had known that you were a comedian, I would have, brought my wife along. If I had, we had no idea what it was going to be tonight. And I'm just so thrilled that people are appreciative of being open and honest about sex, because so many people cannot say the sex word. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to mention anything about sexual function and an erection. Oh my God, you say the E word and you're thinking, no, that's okay. This is a normal part. And one of the funny things that I said to everybody in the room right off the bat was, I hope you're all comfortable talking about sex. And you see a few of them are just like, and I go, because if it weren't for sex, none of us would be here.
Absolutely.
And then it sort of relaxes everybody, and they go, she's right. Darn it, she's right.
That's right.
Because it is a normal function, and it is something that people enjoy, and people we need as a race to procreate, or we would die out.
Absolutely.
So there's got to be some fun in it, or why do it, right?
That's right. And Glenda, we'll also link to later on the episode description when the episode is published, your link. And also, I don't know if you have events page where you about speaking engagement where you are. I would love for people who get to hear you, come to see you in person, and also get to learn from you and understand who you are as a person.
Yes,
I know
it's on my website.
Brilliant.
All that information's on my website, and I have to admit I'm a little lax. I haven't brought it up to date for a while, so I should do that.
Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. Can you tell me about mentors? If you had ever had a mentor in your life?
Oh, yes, I have many. I remember sitting around a table having just lunch with some friends one day, and we all said, okay, what do we really want to do in our lives? And one friend said this, and one friend said this, and one was, I want to be in music and radio, and mine was, I want to write, and I want to speak, and I share my stories. And 20 some years later, we got together again, and we realized that we'd all accomplished what we sat around that table dreaming about and what we'd put out there. And my girlfriend Shelley is one of those people where you just think, yeah, we wanted to do our passions, and I love to speak and I love to write. So I'm following my passion, and she's doing the same. And people have come into my circle. Like I don't know if you know Wendy Dewar-Hughes, but she'd be a lovely lady to have on. And Wendy McClellan and Detta Penna. These are all ladies that helped me with the book.
Amazing.
And when you connect with strong, powerful women who know what they are good at. and it's just an empowering thing when you
Absolutely.
connect with people and you have those kind of mentors in your life that they are passionate and they know what they want. And despite all the struggles they've had in their own lives, they're still mirroring your own aspirations. So I like that. I really am grateful for all of my wonderful mentors.
That's fantastic. That's good to hear. And I know mentors are the one that push you, and the one that are treat you. They understand that decisions are tough, and when they love you, that's called tough love. And sometimes they have to push you forward because they know if they don't do it, you won't be doing it, and they know your potential. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's incredible qualities. Other than your book, your inspirational book, tell me about 3 books that really changed your life.
3 books. I love to read, but that actually going back, when I first lost my leg, and I remember reading a book, one of my occupational therapists at GF Strong gave me a book called Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawan.
Okay.
And it was amazing. It was one of those ones where it helped me so much with getting over through the pain and through visualizing what I wanted and just things in there that when I read it and I went, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I love books that strike that chord. And again, we're talking about books that impacted me and changed my life. So that would definitely be one of them. And Getting Well Again. I don't know if you've ever read any of Carl Simonton's books, but that was a huge influence on me. It was, again, positive thinking, turning it around, positive thinking, and focusing on what you want, not on what you don't want. And that, for me, Getting Well Again was a life changer. And being scared of dying was never really something that was high in my fears, because I'm just not afraid of it. And there was a book that I read called On Death and Dying by Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. And Elizabeth, she talked about the experiences that people have when they die and near-death experiences and why should you be afraid of the next step? And it was so very freeing to read someone else's book and to have it mirror what you were feeling somewhere deep inside, but you didn't know how to express it.
Right.
And you didn't even know that other people ever felt the same way. And then when you are validated, to have your feelings validated by an expert, it's just so freeing and reassuring. And I totally recommend that one, On Death and Dying by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Yeah,
and I guess it tell me about how you can think about life in a positive way. And I'm always looking for ways of looking at things in a positive way. The other day I was watching a show, and in the show I thought it's very brilliant. It was a man, and he had a sticker, not a sticker, how do you call wristband or something like this, like elastic. And and he wears it all the time, and he say, when I feel down, I just basically I pull the stick and I let it go, and I kind of, it hit me, and it's like kind of, snap out of it. So he said,
I wonder if he attended one of my workshops, because that's what I do. I hand out the elastics, and I tell them, do not take them off. Whenever you feel that you're judging someone, whenever you feel that you're depressed and you're spending too long in that mode, snap it and snap out of it.
Wonderful.
Just snap out of it.
Amazing.
And that's great, Bara. I'm so
I thought it was brilliant, because it really gets you out of it. It's such a simple thing, but so powerful. And this is amazing. Amazing to hear that, you do that all the time. So maybe, yes, he was at one of your events and learned that from you.
That could very well be, because I know it's such a simple thing and it's very effective.
Absolutely.
It's very effective.
Absolutely. Glenda, this has been really a pleasure talking to you and having you here. It's such a wonderful opportunity, and I'm glad we were able to do it. And I'm more excited because the audience will be able to hear you and learn from you. We're coming almost to the end, and I wanted to really thank you personally. I know we're great friends, but I wanted to really share that because you gave me your time, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for giving everything and sharing your story with the audience. Before we leave, if there's anything else you have in mind that you want to share it with the audience, you'd be very beneficial.
I would love to tell them where to get my book and how to contact me through my website, GlendaStandeven.com. So www.GlendaStandeven.com. And Standeven is just the way it sounds.
Absolutely.
Standeven. Standeven.
Standing even. That's, I guess, it's the mantra that you have. And we will, dear audience, we will have the link to the book and to Glenda's website.
And on Amazon.com as well, of course. The books are both on Amazon.com. I Am Choosing to Smile and What Men Won't Talk About and Women Need to Know.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Glenda, for joining in. Thank you very much for taking the time. And until the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy yourself. Have yourself a lovely day, and be smiling and be happy. Thank you very much. Good night. If you like the episode, please subscribe on iTunes, like our page on Facebook, and share your favorite part with your friends. Until the next episode, have a great day.
Masters of Change Show, bringing you the most unique, brilliant, and inspiring entrepreneurs who will share their expertise to help you start and grow your business or inspire you to follow your passion and live your dreams. With your host and a big smile, Barar Ali. Listen to the show 24/7 at www.mastersofchangeshow.com.